Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Sons of Salisbury. I am CJ. We got Terry right here. And then we have our special guest, Stacie Warcewicz.
Warcewicz.
Yeah,
Warcewicz.
you were close.
I get a B+ on that?
You're an Ohio guy, so we can let that slide.
Stacie is a resident of Salisbury, Bayberry Laner, and a local farmer. How you doing today, Stacie?
I'm good.
All right, before we get started.
Very few local farmers.
Right. Before I get started,
Around.
I'm going to ask a question that's completely unrelated to any of this.
Okay.
Tripoli's or...
Christie's.
Tripoli's or Christie's?
Christie's.
Absolutely.
Christie's.
Okay.
100%.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Christie's or Cristaldi's?
Oh, I don't know. Which one's the difference? Cristaldi's is... Well, there used to be one at the end of...
Down at 286.
Yes, that one. But that one's closed, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it is?
No, they're still there.
That's my favorite one.
Exactly. Me too.
That's my favorite one.
Shh, don't tell anybody that. That's
I said
zebra.
Tripoli's and Christie's.
I
Now,
know, but I threw that
But
in
why?
there.
But why Christie's?
I like the one... Tripoli's?
yeah.
The sauce is sweet.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
It's too sweet.
It's too sweet.
I agree.
Yeah, it's too
I'll eat it.
She dislikes it so much that she didn't even say the name.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it
Well,
called?
you call it
I don't eat it.
Walkowitz. I mean,
yeah.
It's a Warcewicz.
okay.
Warcewicz, there you go.
My
There you
son
go.
is her third son.
Oh, they hang out
Yes,
together.
they do.
Oh, okay. You guys
get
live on
into
the same.
trouble together.
You live on the same street. They get into a lot of trouble. If he's related to him,
Yeah.
We live in the agricultural district of Salisbury.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Agriculture. I'm fascinated by it.
I like Tripoli's better.
People don't think of that when you think of Salisbury.
No,
Agriculture. They think of the beach, which is obvious, but
Right.
they don't think
we have a lot of
we
farmland.
do. We do
A
have a
lot.
lot. Yep.
We have
do.
the two oldest family-run farms in the entire country.
Which is mind blowing.
It is
Bartlett's in Pettingill?
Bartlett's and
Stevens.
Stevens.
Oh,
Farm.
Stevens Christmas Tree Farm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, two oldest in
Yeah, that's amazing.
the country.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they're from the 1630s, 1640s.
I mean, there's a lot of identifiable farmland in Salisbury. A lot of it's not being used for farming, and that's kind of a sad thing too. I mean, I shouldn't say a lot of it, but there's a lot of pieces that are still left out there that could be farmed.
But once a farm goes, it doesn't usually come back.
Right. The
unfortunately.
economics of a farm are very difficult
Right.
to manage, right?
And usually when a farm sells, you see it everywhere. Once a farm sells, it's all houses. Or,
Development.
Yeah, it's all development.
Because
Nobody
it-
ever buys it and farms it. Typically, they don't.
You could never make as much money farming as you could
Developing. Never.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
never.
yeah.
I don't even know how you would even.
Yeah.
I don't even. Unless you grew marijuana, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
In this
about it.
climate, it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, you couldn't. Not with regular. Just.
Can you
farm
grow
products.
marijuana outside?
I don't know that.
I mean, I
answer.
know you can, but can you?
Right, legally, you mean? I don't know that.
I don't
answer.
think I think it has to be a controlled
Yeah,
facility to
yeah.
have over 10 plants. If that's and I don't know that, but
Okay.
I think that
But
might.
you have to
Nick,
have a lot of money.
Nick, you might be able to find that out.
Yeah,
get
Nick.
get Nick on that.
Give me a couple minutes. I'll
Nick,
I'm reading
Nick
a
is
couple
our
books
engineer.
on farming actually, and it's an interesting topic that. You know, I'm a tech guy, so farming. I do a lot of farming in my own. When I say farming, I mean gardening and
Yeah.
things like that. You know, I'm not farming by any means. I don't have any tractors or anything. Well, I do have
You
tractors.
don't have to have a tractor.
Yeah.
As long as you're out there.
But I'm not out. I'm slinging like some tomatoes and some basil and some whatever. You know what I mean?
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've been reading about is shortages. I mean, there's literally shortages of food everywhere, right? They're worried about it. And then crowd farming is this new thought process, and it's like you have a piece of land, and then you have a bunch of people, just like they would crowd fund a company because it's so expensive to farm.
Yeah.
They're crowdfunding these farms and making it so that it's economical for the farmer to run the farm, and it's a crop share, and it's basically like a beef share, similar to that. You know?
Stacie needs to get some of that.
Yeah.
crowd.
So
Like a they do
Co-op.
that like a community garden
Yeah.
almost. Like you see that in the city a lot. They'll have a community, someplace where people will have their own
Salisbury
little
actually has one.
sections
Right.
of places to plant. Or Newburyport has one, I think.
Salisbury
too.
does too.
Where is it?
It's Old County Road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can go down by the dump and
Yep.
yeah, but it's so
See,
small.
that's a great idea, though.
It is a great
That's a
idea,
great
but it's
idea.
so small that we're talking about bigger, larger scale. You know,
Like a whole lot, like a whole acre. or
oh,
something,
oh
like
yeah,
or
more, yeah. Like so, it's a full-on farm that's being utilized. Like I can identify a couple. I don't want to mention any names, but I'm just saying if that was the case, I've just been reading about it. It's an interesting
It is.
topic.
It's a nice idea too.
Yeah, it's a good idea because then that gives the opportunity for people to buy into. They know what they're buying. Like
Right.
a local farm, you know what you're
You're
eating.
getting.
You're not
You know what they're, especially if you're getting beef or something like that. You know what they're eating.
exactly
And that's what the most important thing is:
Right.
is what you're eating, what it ate.
right. Transparency and what the feed is and everything else.
So Stacie has Red Ridge Farm. It's at 35 Bayberry Lane. It is a cattle farm, and it is a wedding venue.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go.
I'm excited about that.
But really, a question is how did you guys get started in farming? Your husband's Mark,
Farming. Mark, my husband's father farmed.
Okay.
So Mark grew up on a farm.
right?
So he slowly he bought some land. Some land was my father-in-law acquired, and then Mark bought parcels. Salisbury's full of, it still is, really full of parcels of land that were, once somebody passed away, it gets down to heirs. So there was parcels out where our farm is, like where our house is, that heirs from all over the country owned that didn't even know they owned. It was just, you had to track them down, have them sign off on it, and he bought that. And he did that slowly over time, bought different parcels.
Right.
And then when I met him, we bought a couple of parcels the same way. They're landlocked parcels, used to be used as woodlots for people in,
Right.
turn of the
Are
century.
they
and
all in the
stuff.
same area?
Yeah,
Or are they?
yeah. You just kind of go. So our lot, our farm is pretty much made up of all different parcels that we've acquired over the years, and it just gets bigger and bigger. And
How many acres do you
it's about
currently
60. It's
That's
about
great.
60.
That's great.
So yeah, there's a lot. It's it's pretty private. You've been down there. And
Right.
You have to come down.
I will definitely
Yeah.
come down. What started the farm? Like what?
Well, like I said, Mark grew up farming. So when he started the land, he would buy the land, and he did wood businesses. He, logged the parcels, sold trees. He had greenhouses, sold snapdragons.
Oh.
Did things like that.
What's a
He used to-
snapdragon?
It's a
It's a
flower.
beautiful flower.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
flower.
really?
Oh yeah.
So he used to have greenhouses.
Hard to
and,
grow, too.
Yeah, and he used to do them on the farm and sell them bring them into Boston, sell them at the market. And he had pigs, and he had kind of just a little bit of everything.
Nice.
So I think growing up on a farm, he just kind of kept farming. And then when I met him, he had some cattle, and then we kind of brought in some more. We haven't had any pigs or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we have goats and chickens and ducks and
You have all that now.
yeah.
I had a pig.
Yeah, and CJ's got the pig.
In his living room.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It definitely is. I wish I could bring up that picture.
Yeah, I think it might be.
I should send that picture to Nick, our engineer.
No, we can.
We'll bring that up later, though. If we're gonna talk about farming, you have a pig in your living room.
It's in my kitchen downstairs.
Okay.
And she's really cute.
She is cute. My wife wants to come over and hug the pig.
How about if I just drop the pig off at your house?
No,
Timeshare the pig.
that's a terrible idea. But she would say
Tiffany-
yes.
Tiffany Morangi, if you're listening, you can have the pig.
I'm gonna
She's
send-
beautiful.
Nina might not like that.
Yeah, Nina's in love with the pig.
Yeah.
Nina loves the pig. Yeah.
Now, can
Nina
you
might
just
like
tell?
the
I mean,
pig.
let's digress for 2 seconds. Can you just tell how did you end up with a pig, real quick? I mean,
This
you
is
li-
a good story. How did you end up with
yeah.
a pig? Because
Can
I
you
don't
explain
know this
that
story.
while I'm finding this picture?
Nina said that she always wanted a pig.
No, she didn't.
She did. She really did. And a friend of mine, a guy I work with, Richie Delfino, said, I told him, which is the wrong person to tell something like that to, because he instantly found a pig and had it all set up for me to go pick up. So I went and picked it up. I brought the pig home.
Without her knowing, you didn't ask
Without
her.
knowing.
You didn't say a word.
Talk to her about it. And I said, babe, I got something for you. And she's, for whatever reason, she said, it better not be a pig.
Oh no.
Oh.
It was a pig, and I
was a
brought the
pig.
pig into my house, and my dad was living with us at the time, and my dad just laughed because he's like, "You got a damn pig."
You got to send me the picture again because for some reason I don't have.
I have it on my phone somewhere
Do you
too.
really?
I think.
Oh my
yeah.
God! You have to send me the picture you sent me the other night,
Okay, I'll
and
send.
we'll do that at the end. But all right, let's get back to Stacie.
So-
This is
So,
I had to digress.
so how many head of cattle do you have now?
That's what I was.
Right now, there's probably 12. Typically, we have anywhere from 15 to 20.
Okay.
And we have, I think, 7 that are pregnant. So we'll have about 7 babies this year.
And how many years have you been raising cattle?
For me, since I met my husband, so it's been 23, 25 years, something like that.
Oh.
He's been doing it forever, for as
So-
long as
really?
I've known him, yeah.
So down there's always been cattle grazing, and you graze them in the field. And
We do. Yep, they're free range. They have a barn, but we never put them in it. They can go in it if they want, but typically they choose not to be in it. So they're.
Is the winter tough on the cattle?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I feel like it should be, but
It's not.
They don't really seem to care.
Yeah.
They're well fed, so
Yeah.
they don't move around much in the winter. So in the summertime, they'll graze all through the farm. They'll be from one side of the farm because there's 2 different sides. They'll be on one side. They'll go back and forth all day. They'll cross the stream.
Mm-hmm.
The winter, they kind of stay in one spot. They stay over by the barn. They get grain and hay every
Grain-fed,
day.
right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Grain fed hay every day. And they just kind of stay there. If it's a storm, if it's raining, they'll go in the barn. They don't like rain. Snow, they'll stay out. If it's snowing, they don't really mind the snow.
Where do you get the grain from?
Mark gets it from is it True North Brewery in Ipswich?
Oh wow, really?
Yep.
Oh,
We get all
Is
their-
it spent grain?
Yep.
So
Yep. After they brew, we get the grain and we pick it up. It's great.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
a great idea.
Tastes very nice.
Most farms around here do that. Most farms around here do that.
Because there's a
Get-
tremendous amount of waste when
Yep.
a lot of my clients are breweries, and I see what they do. I mean, it's
yeah.
trailer trucks
Full of it. Yeah, most farms around here do that, and we used to do it with Newburyport Brewing, and then they sold or something. I'm not really sure
Yeah,
what the situation
yeah.
was, but so we contacted True North down in Ipswich. He goes down twice a week when they're brewing. He backs his trailer up, and they fill up his trailer, and he brings it back. And in the winter, it's great because for the cows, it's like warm oatmeal.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice and warm. The
Yeah.
steam is coming off it, and they just stuff their
they
faces
love
into it. They love it.
So
yeah.
they get the fresh
love
stuff
it.
right when they
Yes.
dump because
Yes.
they have to get rid of it
Yep.
right away.
Yeah, as soon as
Process.
when they're brewing, they'll
Yeah.
they'll let my husband know
That's
they're brewing
amazing
on
because the
Wednesday.
smell of that when they dump that is just
Yeah, after a couple of days, it gets really.
Yeah, I'm
gross.
sure it
Yeah.
and-
it doesn't smell as good after a couple of days.
the first day I was actually in there doing some job at Lord Hobo, those guys, and they dumped that grain. I was like, man,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
It looks. I mean, they love it. They
Yeah.
they
That's
see that-
wild.
So they see that. No, I've
Why
never
you
tasted
would
it.
just grab a spoon?
I don't know.
Oh,
How about
who the
Ian
hell
or
would do
Al?
It doesn't look.
How about
No.
the boys? Do they ever go?
No, I
How
suppose.
about Max? Did they ever?
I was just gonna say, I'm surprised Max didn't try to bet them or them bet. Max
I bet
to
somebody
do it,
had a
but-
bite of that grain,
Somebody somewhere did. You know
but it's
that.
not fermented yet, so it doesn't matter
Yeah,
anyways, right?
yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
just, but they like it. It's like warm oatmeal, and then they get hay. And then in the summer, we still get grain for them in the summer. But other than that, we don't really have to feed them much because there's enough grass
Yeah.
and growth. And,
to supplement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that's funny. I've been doing some cattle studying too because
Yeah.
a friend of mine is trying to get started raising
Cattle.
cattle, and he's only got 2 right now, just to kind of.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's the same as you. He has one in his living room, I think. At one
Oh
point.
yeah, we've had them in our house.
Yeah,
We-
it's
we-
like they're babies.
Yeah, it's just we've had babies that were born in the middle of the winter, and we had one a couple of years ago that mom wasn't doing well, and so we had to bring the baby in, and it's fun at first, but
Yeah.
after a while, the house really takes on the whole farmhouse smell. When you've
Yeah.
got a calf in your garage, and
Yeah, it's not easy.
yeah, it's not. And then we have dogs, so the dogs think the calf is something to play with, and
So they start tearing the house apart.
yeah, it gets really
That's
but we've
fun.
had all kinds of chickens, ducks, everything in the house, goats.
My wife would love that place. She would have a farm at our house if she could.
It's pretty. It's a beautiful farm. It's great. There's always a pilgrimage up the street of Bayberry Laners. We have a very close knit.
We do. We have a good neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's and there's always a pilgrimage up to the farm to see the goats or to see
Yeah,
the cattle.
the goats go up there.
Do you guys randomly just go and pet the goats and?
I don't, but I pick my son up, drop him off, or or the goats will come visit us.
Yeah, the goats come up there.
Oh,
a
do
lot.
they?
We're like
Yeah.
we're like there's one house that separates us.
Right. They're at the very end.
Yeah.
We let the goats out a lot in the summer.
Yeah.
Just to,
Let
Yeah.
them go.
yeah, and they stay in the farm for a while, and then they inevitably take a jump.
But you know what's
Take
great
off.
about those goats is they eat poison ivy.
Yeah, they eat anything.
They are the best.
Yeah.
Like they say, if you can have a goat, you won't have any poison ivy ever.
Yeah, right.
Well, they eat
or grass.
Yeah, or grass or
any weed or
anything.
You can clear a lot in like
Yeah.
3 hours.
They eat anything. Yeah,
Isn't
they
that-
like
wow.
acorns too. Like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
fall when all the
Oh,
acorns
really?
fall, they love the acorns.
They'll eat 'em up?
Yep. Oh yeah, they eat those right up.
Harper
Let's
loves
give me
acorns.
some of them
Yeah.
goats, rental goats. You don't do the
Yeah,
rental goat
we
thing,
don't,
do you?
but they
No.
do have
I
those
know, I
goats
saw
to
that.
go,
Yeah,
I think is
goats
what
to
it's
go.
called.
I've seen a few of them, different ones.
Yeah, goats to go.
When they first started to raise pigs for harvesting,
Yes.
and like whenever they
Heritage pigs.
in England actually
Mm-hmm.
they started. The way that they fed them is through acorns.
Oh, yeah.
They
And
would
that
have
was a
oak
specific
tree-
taste, too.
Yeah,
that
they had oak
yeah.
tree
I think they still do.
rows, and the pigs would just go in and eat the
the
acorns, and then
Yeah.
after all the acorns were gone, it was time to.
Nick, you could probably look that up, but I
Slaughter
actually think
those.
that's still you can't say that word.
Yeah.
It's harvest.
It's harvest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Be-
Well,
Harvest.
back in those days,
Yeah.
they said it differently.
Harvest.
Well, we're in the new day. This is
You
21st
can't say
century.
It's called
We're out of acorns.
harvesting.
Time to take Harper out.
So I know we're kind of going all over the place. They're going all over the place. But I mean, I'm fascinated. First of all, farming is one of those things that's just a lost, and I don't want to call it an art, but I guess it's like a lost trade. Let's call it a lost trade.
Correct.
I
Okay.
agree. Yep.
And that's what's fascinated me, and it was sparked by an article I read about beef. I have a lot of friends. We do my company does a lot of work with chefs in restaurants and
Yep.
things like that. So they always give me like these hot spots to order
From places. Yeah.
yeah, just to custom order places. So 7X Farms in Colorado is one of the places that I constantly order from. What do you
Right.
got for us, Nick? Did you see anything?
Quality.
So it does seem pretty common, at the very least, for this farm that they're talking about here to feed a pretty large amount of acorns.
Yeah, these acorns. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still a
it's
very
like that.
because it's
Yep,
a specific
widely exploited.
taste that you get, and I've learned this through these chefs. They're the heritage pigs.
So the acorns make them really tasty.
Yeah, it's a specific taste that they get from eating acorns.
I wonder
in
if it's
their
like a
diet.
maple.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
like
you get
something to do
maple
with it. Yeah.
bacon, maple. Like I wonder if it has something to do with that.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
Harper might not be in my downstairs kitchen too long.
I kind of rag on him because I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
always.
you're not going to harvest a Harper.
Well, you know what's funny?
Well, I see her walking around with those two hens. Just,
This is a great
Just
story.
thinking about it, like, ooh, that looks like Easter's coming up.
Last year I had this is a great segue to that. Last year I had a pig roast. A friend of mine who's
Whoa.
all right, so settle down.
I just got dizzy.
I know, settle down. And I was so worried. It was a bunch of 13-year-olds, and the easiest, best, fastest, most economical way to feed all these people. There was 100 and something people there. We were all eating tacos. It was a spread like I wish I had a picture. It was unbelievable. A chef friend of mine did, but he did a pig roast, and it was on a flatbed trailer,
Yeah.
like the whole thing. And my biggest concern was, we're gonna freak out these kids when they see the head on the pig. Can you take the pig's head off?
They do, I think, sometimes.
No,
but
not this.
always.
No,
yeah.
so
They
here's
put
what.
an apple in the mouth, right?
Well, no. So here's what he said. He goes, "It's time to teach these kids where their food comes from." And I was like, when I was a kid, there was deer hanging in this garage.
Oh yes,
Like-
yes.
Yeah.
I'm helping my dad clean deer.
Yeah.
And eating it. It was part of my childhood, and it's like, and it was a good point because if you're gonna eat it, you should know where it came from, right?
Yep.
So you shouldn't be so sensitive to it. And I'm not saying you, although you probably had bacon this morning.
Sausage, but same.
Okay, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have that PC
But
sensitivity.
it is because we had a pig roast with the weddings.
Yeah.
People have
Which
a
I wanna get
pig,
to that.
Pig roasts often, and I made the mistake. I posted pictures one time, and I posted a picture of
Oh, yeah.
one of the pig roasts, and I
Yeah.
upset somebody with the picture, and I apologize. I'm like, so now when I post, I don't post that stuff on
Right.
just because
People
I
are
don't
sensitive.
mind if they have it at the farm.
Right.
It doesn't bother me, but people are definitely sensitive to that, even though they would have eaten that pig had they not seen it in that form.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
And that's the point right
Right.
there. So can I ask you this? How did it come about that weddings and functions and things like that became part of the farming of the land?
It was accidental. We had been looking at different things over the years to do with the farm because farming, there's no money.
Yeah,
So we make
it's hard.
There's no money in
Yeah.
it at all, especially since we're a small farm. So we don't sell. You know, like I said, we have 15, maybe 20 head of cattle. We maybe sell 5 a year.
Yeah. Oh, really? That little?
Yeah, we don't sell because, like, if babies are born on the farm, they stay with their moms for a couple of years before we sell them, or whatever we do. So, you know, we only sell a couple a year. We don't sell a lot. Most of them stay in the farm for at least. I mean, some of the ones we have now have been on the farm for 10 years or more. You know,
Oh, wow.
We've had them for a while. They've been on the
So
farm.
will they ever be?
They
harmed?
might when they get older. Yeah,
Okay.
if they get older.
Is there a timeline? And I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm always
No, I know.
stuck on the cattle. But is there a timeline for the?
just to harvest?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. Not too old because
Right, right.
I don't want to get into too much of like
No.
again a PC, but a too old calf or cow. I mean, a too old cow would probably just be Hamburg.
Yeah,
like
right.
And we don't do young. We don't harvest young. I mean, you can. People do it.
You
We
don't
don't
do it,
harvest
no.
young calves.
Okay.
So usually for us, it's a couple of years. 3 or 4 years old.
Okay. And that seems about right.
Yeah, is usually when we.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, so it was by accident that.
Yeah, it was
these
by
functions?
accident. So we didn't make any money. We weren't making any money. We both work outside of the house. We both had jobs. We have 5 kids total, and it just so we looked into different things. We had a company come out that wanted to put a solar farm out there, and I don't know. It just
Yeah.
didn't. It just
Doesn't
didn't,
appeal to you.
It didn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I'm all for solar power,
Sure.
but the idea of having a huge area of the land taken and not having control of and it just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't.
There's probably an emotional connection to farming in your farmland
Yeah.
as well,
And
too.
so-
Just
right.
seeing a bunch of solar panels out there,
It just didn't
doesn't
fit, right? I mean, I would like solar panels on the farm, but not like that. So then there was other things. There was marijuana was becoming thing. We looked into doing maybe something with that, but that you have to have all kinds of money up front for permits, and
Yeah.
it's just
Huge.
that wasn't really worth it for us. So we really just were floating, seeing what was gonna happen. My husband was getting older. Our kids are older, and some of them are grown, and then our daughter got married, and she said she wanted to get married on the farm. So we cleaned it up, and
That's awesome.
yeah, we had the farm. We rented everything, and
Did you invite him?
no, I don't think CJ.
Thank
came
God.
out.
He
Yeah,
would've-
yeah.
he would've been
Would've
like
had to
Wedding
truck through
Crashers.
He'd have had to truck through the mud to get out there from Bayberry Lane.
Oh, it was that.
Well, from where we originally started the site, it was on the other side off of Baker Road.
I see.
And that's where she had her wedding. And then again, it poured. Her wedding poured. It was rainy and.
But
it
they
was-
had fun
it was-
anyways.
oh yeah, we had the best time.
Yeah.
It was super fun. And then the next year, a friend of mine, her daughter got married, and they wanted to do similar to what our daughter did. So we offered them the farm, and they're welcome to use it. We said, but you rent your own stuff and.
all on your own.
Right. We're not, but you can use the farm. We have no problem with that. So they had a wedding, and it was beautiful, sunny June day. And I walked out, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of nice."
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is really," and everybody that was there was like, "Oh, this is such a beautiful spot."
Yeah.
And so we were like, maybe we could do this. Like, I don't know. And do people want to get married on a farm? So I kind of threw it out there to my Facebook friends and family, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea."
Yeah.
So we reached out to our insurance company and reached out to the town. There was a different building inspector at the time, and got the okay. And we bought a tent and, got everything all set. And
Was it booked
started.
right away? I mean, did you have
Yeah,
a good
the
draw?
first year that we put it out there, we only had like 4 weddings, but for us that was huge. We were pretty excited
Sure,
with 4
yeah.
weddings. That was great. And then the next year it just kind of built up until more and more. And now we try to do about 20 a year.
Wow.
That's about
That's really
That's what
good.
we'd like to do from May to October. So
Did you have a difficult time with any part of the progression from the beginning of the infancy of Red Ridge Farm, because that's the name of it,
Yep.
to where it has evolved at today?
in in general, like if we've had all kinds of trouble.
It's a process, right?
Yeah, we've had all kinds of stuff.
I think I've read a few articles on that.
Yeah. We've had all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had developers try to encroach on the property and have to go to land court over that.
Oh,
we've had,
right.
we've had the issues with the wedding and the neighbors on the other side. We've had to go to court over that. And I sometimes say to my husband, I feel like we've been defending the farm in some form for a lot of years.
Right.
Which
So
I kind of love that story. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
It's kind of inspirational.
It's a
right?
throwback, and it's just we lose those little pieces
Yep.
of not only Salisbury but just the country, right? Those
Yeah.
farms. I mean, people who are willing to stick with it,
Right.
and
It's been a
do
long
that.
process.
Yeah, I mean that's just because you
We've
can
considered
easily
selling-
sell that.
Yeah, I was going to
5
say
seconds.
we have considered selling
Right.
so many times.
It's honorable to me
Yeah, so many
to
times.
have somebody that. Huh? What'd you say?
said, please don't.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's honorable, and
It is.
you have to be creative now in farming or owning farmland.
But that's it, and like that's what it was. My husband's older than I am, so he's getting older. He's been farming for over 40 years. He's sort of tired.
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of work.
a lot of work. You're talking every day, especially in the winter, every day going out and mucking out a barn and
Yeah.
shoveling out grain and hauling hay bales and moving cattle from one side. It's just a lot of work, and there's no money in it unless you can come up with some. That's why most of these farms around here have, corn mazes and
Right.
hay rides and
you got to get creative.
yeah, all these other things for people to do because if you just try to sell just what you've got, it's hard.
And that's
Mark works so hard. That guy is always out there working.
I can't imagine how much work.
And then he goes to work all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he comes home, and even if he's out plowing or doing something, he's got to, come back and feed cows. If
Yeah.
we go on vacation, it's a matter of finding somebody to take care of. It's a lot. It's just a lot of work. So the weddings just are a great way for us to make some money on the farm, keep it open. It introduces the farm to a lot of people. We sell a lot more beef that way. People
Do
buy
you
beef.
have a little store there, or
We don't.
How
We
is
don't.
It, how
Usually
does it
it's
work?
just-
I mean, I got to get my hands on. some
Yeah,
of this
usually
beef.
it's just kind of friends and family. I
Yeah.
put it out there on Facebook. I've got some beef for sale when we've got it, and it sells out usually pretty quickly. We usually fill up the freezer like once or twice a year. And then we have a few people that buy it. They'll buy the whole animal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We
So,
sold
yeah.
like 4 that way this year. So a couple of friends of ours split one.
Yeah.
We had somebody from a wedding that bought a whole cow from us.
Wow.
And then we had somebody else that we know buy a whole cow.
The meat is wonderfully delicious.
So my mother-in-law,
Yes, your mother-in-law buys it. Yeah.
she loves it. She
Yep.
tells me, and I said, "What?"
Oh, well, speaking of that, I think I gotta get a hold of her. I owe her some.
I was
She
like,
called
"How
me
come I
about
didn't
that.
get in on that deal?" I'm ordering from Colorado. I got one right in Salisbury. And again, this is why we're doing this podcast, is because I didn't know. I actually did see a post really quickly of maybe tubes of ground beef. I think that's how you.
Yep, we have ground beef and steaks.
Yeah. And so I did see that really quick. And then I think I might have even chimed in. And you guys were sold out. It went like that.
If it was last year.
Last year.
Yeah, we sold.
I mean, it was like
I put it
hours.
up on Facebook, and I sold like 250 pounds of beef in 6 hours. something
Seriously,
like
it was
that,
gone,
yeah.
like gone.
It was gone.
And I think I might. I don't know if I.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't even know. But
We do have some now.
It was gone. Well, we got to get on that.
We do have some now.
So, if somebody wanted to contact you to buy fresh beef,
Yeah, our website is on website Meadow, the Meadow at Red Ridge Farm, and our phone
Yeah,
number's
let's-
on
let's
there.
pull that up.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
look at that.
There it is.
Beautiful.
It is.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
So I went to a farm
And
wedding.
that's the phone number right there. That's my cell phone number. That's the best number to call for beef or anything. Weddings.
It's 978-804-8643. And the email address that you can email Stacie at is redridgemeadow@gmail.com.
I got a question.
Yes.
How often do you have beef in stock?
It depends. We put 2 in the freezer this year. So we sold out the first one real quick, and then we put the second one in, and now we still have stuff. So we'll until it sells out, and then we won't have any more again probably till the fall.
Cool.
So Nick has up here some pictures on Red Ridge Farm, and you have the history up there
Yep.
of Red Ridge Farm, and there is sort of like your chapel with the log seats, which is beautiful, and your tent, which you guys put up every spring for the
Yes.
weddings, which is nicely done.
It's really nice.
We actually had a yard sale underneath
Yes,
that tent
we
last
did.
spring.
We had a
Oh,
neighborhood yard sale.
Yep, we
That's a
did.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, these are the things, you got to get creative. I love
We
it.
have a wonderful neighborhood.
We do
think
have a
it-
wonderful neighborhood.
I think it's
agree.
the nicest neighborhood in all of Salisbury. I think it's the nicest neighborhood in all of America.
I think most
I have
people.
to chime in. It's pretty good.
That's awesome. I have a great neighborhood
is a
as
good
well, but I mean, we don't have a farm with cattle and things. I mean, if we had that growing up,
You guys have the Christmas tree lights. We
You do. We went down and saw your Christmas
oh,
tree
you
lights
did?
this
Oh,
year.
good.
Yes.
That's my son. He's
Yes, they were
obsessed.
great. Yeah.
Thank you. He's
they were great.
I do a couple things, but nothing crazy.
We love that. I love Christmas
Oh, that's
lights.
awesome. Yeah,
It's
me
my
too.
favorite.
I do too.
I love
Yeah.
people that go all out. I would try to make my husband go all out, and do the whole yard, but nobody sees our yard.
Yeah.
Well, I tell
Well,
you
you'd
what.
have to drive. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody sees
You know
it.
what's
Well,
the
maybe they'll have to be like a festival of lights down
Yeah.
there.
Well, I tell you what, what's peaceful? Actually, they do it just perfect because it's peaceful. You get on to Bayberry Lane in December, and you drive down the street, and it's cold, and sometimes there's snow, and there's a beacon at the end, and it's straight on, and it is a wonderfully beautiful, perfect Christmas tree
Yeah.
that is lit up.
Oh, really?
We do
You
that,
light it
yeah.
up? Oh,
Well, it's
that's
in my
cool.
front yard, so the way the street is set up, if you drive straight down the street, you can see my.
Perfectly.
So
right
it
in the
kind
center.
of looks like the tree's floating. And
Oh,
so
that's
it's-
cool.
We
It
do that.
I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, we do
beautiful.
that.
You never invite me over, so I don't know what your street looks like.
It's a good street.
Yeah, I'll have to
It's, a
check
good
that
street. It's
out.
got good neighbors.
We're gonna have to get down there. I actually went to a farm wedding for the first time just before COVID. It was the first time. I
They're
did
so
it.
fun.
It was. It was
Yeah, they're
awesome
so
because
fun.
it was very relaxed.
Yep.
And just everybody was just in a good mood.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about being in the open air and sitting on a log. I mean,
Yeah, see, it's kind of like this.
no-
It's kind of like a big barbecue vibe.
It's
The
awesome.
people are playing cornhole. The
Yeah.
grills are fired up. Music's playing.
look at that picture
Yeah.
right there. I mean, that picture is
Yeah,
just,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
And she always posts like wonderfully beautiful pictures, but there's they always have like a setup for the bride and groom's table, and they'll have like chairs out there. They always do something creative, right? Is that kind of like the new thing with these farm weddings?
Yes, everybody's creative. Everybody comes up with
Yeah.
different ideas. It's really nice.
Right.
They probably bring a lot of their own stuff.
Yeah,
Props
because
and
we
stuff
just
that they
provide
made.
the tent, tables, chairs, like the necessities. They have to provide their own vendors, their own, their own vendors, their own food, photographers, flowers,
Right.
their own dishes, linens, things like that.
Has that made a big impact on the bottom line of the farm? I mean,
Yeah, it helps us out. Yeah, we definitely make money from the
give
yeah.
you the ability to continue farming.
It does.
doing
It
what
helps us with that, the overall, because we're making a little bit of money on the weddings. And like I said, we're selling some beef through it too, because we sold a whole
true.
cow this year to one of the vendors. It was a band that we had out there, and so he's now going to buy beef from us every year. He'll buy a cow from us every year, and
Yeah. Wow.
we sell a lot of Hamburg to some of the caterers that come out. We sell Hamburg to them and stuff for their. Sometimes steaks aren't as big a hit because a lot of people don't have a steak at a wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not really. But Hamburg, a lot of times they'll have it in something, or they'll have meatballs, or they'll have
Sure.
whatever they're having.
Yeah.
So we sell a lot of beef for that, and then we
So
have
will they
couples that
have
come.
like official Red Ridge Farm meatballs?
if that's on their menu.
Oh, wow.
We require them if they have ground beef or steak or something that's on their menu that we do have. They have to buy it from us.
That's awesome.
So.
Wow, good for you. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Well, we
But
try to
from
make
what I've
something, locally. So if they don't buy beef from us, because we're a small farm, so we don't always have, like I said, sometimes people want, certain things we don't have.
Yeah.
We want them to come from a different farm. So
Yeah.
we try to encourage them to buy it from another local farm.
That's awesome. I love
Or
it.
their veggies, or their flowers, or something.
So are you just doing cattle right now, not the flowers or anything else?
No, we don't do anything. We have
Yeah.
with everything else that we have chickens with eggs, but right now they're not laying eggs. But we have everything else is just basically pets. We have
Yeah.
some ducks and some goats and dogs, and
Yeah.
so that's just they
That's
just they don't
Hanging
produce
around- they're
anything. They
hanging
ju-
around.
Yeah, they're more freeloaders. Yeah,
Keeping the cows company.
exactly.
A couple 13-year-old boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of boys. Yeah, a couple of boys.
Do you ever have any kids in the neighborhood cow tipping?
No, and there's no such thing.
There isn't?
You can't tip a cow.
I know, I tried, actually.
It's not
I
possible.
actually tried.
I always hear those stories, and I'm like, you could not tip one of those animals if you try.
When I was your son's age, I
Nick.
think it was Whitey Davis who had a farm out there. I don't even know who had a farm over on Allen Drive. But anyway, long story short, I tried to tip a cow over.
You can't. Yeah.
They're like,
There's no way. They're like,
they're like
yeah.
25
Can you look
pounds
this
or
up,
whatever.
Nick, if you can actually cow tip?
I don't. You can't.
They would go to
You
bed.
have to.
You can't. It's
No,
a myth.
you'd
There's no
have
way.
to work.
First of all, they don't sleep standing up. They,
Is that true? 'Cause I
They
thought
do
they
not
did.
sleep standing up. They might like kind of close their eyes and maybe snooze for a second, but they don't sleep standing up. They lay down,
right?
They lay down to sleep. So, and secondly, even if it had its eyes, it's like a ton.
Oh my God,
A
it's
small
20
cow can
at
weigh a
least,
ton.
yeah,
There's
2,500
no way you
pounds,
can
easy.
push that thing over.
I tried like hell. one
Yeah,
day.
there's no way.
Is cow tipping possible? Research from the University of British Columbia suggests that the idea of knocking over a standing cow during its slumber just doesn't stand up. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there's
No.
just no way.
For
Especially
one thing,
if you're,
cows do not sleep standing up.
Yeah, exactly.
You must have read this article.
Well,
before you
she owns
came
a
in.
farm. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to
Yeah,
figure that
they
out.
don't sleep standing up.
What's
They
more,
all
simple
lay down.
physics suggests the force of a single person is hardly enough to cause a standing cow to topple
See,
over.
yeah.
You want to know what I did? I got. You know how you pick? You ever been taught how to pick up a heavy Harley?
Interesting. This article was written by Stacie Warcewicz.
I knew you were gonna say.
You ever been taught how to pick up a heavy motorcycle?
Yeah.
How you like lean into it and you
Yeah.
put your ass into it?
Yeah.
Did you try to do it that way?
Yeah, I tried to get my ass up in there and move this cow. That thing was going.
Yeah.
Didn't
He's
even
laughing
move.
at you.
Exactly.
He's laughing at
Didn't
you.
move, and I'm like, guys, I'm not sure it's gonna work.
Yeah, he's laughing at you.
With the whole neighborhood,
Yeah.
laugh. He's laughing. I'm like, this is not gonna happen. We tried like heck.
You can't get a cow to do something. It's very hard to get a cow to do something unless it really wants to do
Yeah, you
something.
need a
Unless you have
horse.
food.
Oh, food.
If
Okay.
you have my husband will take a bucket of grain and they'll
Yeah.
follow him to the end of the.
Do they eat? They eat the hops and everything, right?
Yeah.
Don't they? Yeah, they eat everything.
Yep.
I mean,
They'll have
everything in
grain.
that mash.
They
they'll
eat it all.
The whole thing.
They love that. They love. This year we had a lot of residents, which thank you to everybody who brought down pumpkins. Bring down a bunch of pumpkins. They love pumpkins.
Oh, really? You can just
Yep.
bring your
Yep.
spent pumpkins
Yep.
down there.
Yep. Just throw your pumpkins over the fence.
Do they have? What if they're jack-o'-lanterns and they've been cut out? Does it
That's fine.
matter?
Yeah,
They
that's
just
fine.
don't want to be rotten.
Right. You don't want to. I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
And
Decent
or
pumpkin.
painted or anything.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
But if it's a fresh pumpkin, that's a great idea.
They love those. They go crazy over the pumpkin.
Are there any other farms in Salisbury that raise cattle at this point?
Bartlett's.
Oh, Bartlett. Yeah.
Bartlett's does.
I'll be all right. Yeah, at Bartlett's. Yeah.
Yeah, Bartlett's
Still do.
have cattle. Yeah, and then they have their corn and veggies and all that.
Yeah.
And then they have flowers. I think they have some flowers.
Yeah, they do. That's
Yeah,
right. I
and
forgot
they have
about
some
that.
flowers.
I forgot that they had
Yeah.
cattle.
Most of the agriculture in Salisbury, what would you consider? I mean, obviously you have Stevens Tree Farm,
Yep.
which is trees, Christmas trees.
Christmas trees. Yep.
But most of the farms, is it basically tree farms, wood farms type things, or
I don't know because I feel like it's a kind of a variety of things because you have us that have cattle,
Right.
And then you Bartlett's the same thing, and then you have Pet and Gill, which is mostly like
All
chickens
flowers
and
and-
flowers. I
yeah.
think they do chickens too,
Yeah.
though, and flowers, and then, but mostly flowers. And then you have Lazy J,
Right.
And they're all like horses, and they do the horse stuff,
Training and stuff.
training
Yep.
and
They're
things like
awesome.
that. They are awesome.
They are the
yes,
best,
very
yeah.
much love them. So I think it's a little bit of everything, and then Stevens Tree Farm, so that's trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like a across the board with things because Bartlett's has a lot of veggies too. They do a lot of veggies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
So
Is raising, growing trees, isn't that cheating? That's not really, is that farming?
yeah,
yeah, it is.
It
It's
is
considered
a lot of
It's
work.
agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could do that, I think. Maybe not.
No, you couldn't. 'cause
No,
you
I
don't
couldn't.
have the property. Yeah.
Your front yard with instead of Christmas lights.
I look at, well, right. Yeah.
That would look
Tom-
pretty. That would
Tom-
look pretty at Christmas.
could wrap
tree.
all
those
those
trees with
Tom
Christmas lights.
Tatro, who's a good
I'm
guy.
being funny. That is, I am being funny.
He's the head of the historical commission. He actually gave me a tour of that whole
The tree farm.
The barn from
Yep.
that was built in like 1642.
It's amazing.
Yeah. My husband Mark did trees for years when he first started out too.
Yeah.
We still have a section out there that's all. It's really pretty. It's all overgrown Christmas trees, but it's really pretty looking from when he used to grow Christmas trees and sell them
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I was kidding when I was saying that.
to grow Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Tatro will be out here like, what the heck? Show you how to farm, son.
He'll be out there planting trees.
20 minutes, it'd be like Clark Griswold with all the sap in his hands.
putting that big tree on the car. Yeah.
He's trying to turn the page of the paper. It's like,
Yeah.
that was good.
So, do you guys like when you guys get the cattle
Harvest.
harvested. Do you guys get like all the nice steaks and everything?
Yes, we keep the good ones.
Oh, you
Yeah.
For us.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Really?
So, well, unless you buy a whole animal. If you buy the whole cow,
You get-
then you get the whole thing. So you get the fillets and all the.
Do you get to ask them what to process? Because there are
Yes.
certain cuts. Okay, you
Yeah.
do.
So, well, if somebody was to buy the whole animal, yeah, they can tell us that they want how thick they want their cuts, what cuts
Oh,
they
wow.
want, how much, if they want all steaks or if they want all hamburger, if they want, half this, half that, if they want roasts.
Nice.
You can have dog bones, stew bones.
Ooh.
You can get suet.
Bone
your
marrow is a
birds.
big thing.
Yep.
People
Yep.
love the big bone.
Yep.
Oh,
so you
the
can get
suet,
the
yeah.
suet.
I always see that
Suet for the
sold.
birds.
Yeah. Yep.
What I see it like at the store, but like at certain holidays, do they make something out of suet?
That I don't know.
For the birds, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can buy suit like any, but we get it like a
It's
big.
like
it's
white.
Like it's like
It's
like
fat.
the fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big piece of fat. The birds eat it. The birds love it.
Yeah, it keeps them warm all winter.
Yeah. So we hang
Keeps
it out in
them
the
chunked
tree.
up and
Yeah.
fat for the winter.
Really?
Yeah, we give it to all our birds.
So when you sell it, like how much is like a pound of hamburger?
So right now it's $7 a pound.
Which
Really?
is really good.
$7 a pound for steaks too.
And they're free range.
Free range, grass fed.
Oh.
We don't. They're never.
That's really good price.
Yeah. It's if you're not familiar with it is a gamey. Beef
Yeah, it's a
because
different flavor,
it's
right.
because it's it's grass fed, so there's not a lot of fat on it. So some people don't really like it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of people that
I've had it.
I mean,
Tastes
not necessarily didn't like our beef. I mean, in general, don't like.
I see. It's a stronger
farm
taste.
raised. It's like having venison or something.
Yeah.
It's just a leaner beef, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
and it's great.
It tastes great.
Yeah, hamburger's the best. Hamburger
I've heard
around.
some
yeah.
really good reviews.
Yeah, so it's really good. So so we sell it for $7 a pound if you buy it like that. If you buy a whole cow, we charge you. I think it's usually between $1, $1.25 for a live weight, and then
Wow.
you pay the harvesting fee.
Yes, exactly.
The harvesting fee,
I was
and that's
telling-
usually about $1 or $2 for hanging weight.
Yeah, which is really, really good. And it's just it's clean.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Right.
Well, it's lean too. So if you grill a steak like that you buy at the grocery store, it's got a lot of fat on it. It's
Right.
if it was came from like a feed house, it's just going to be
If it's corn fed.
Yeah, and where this is lean, so if you cook it fast, it's overcooked.
Yeah.
Well, you have to cook it really slow.
And that's actually a big thing right now. Craft beef is the next craft beer.
Right.
So that's another big movement that's across the country is
Right.
craft beef. And I know I was telling you I order
Right.
from from Colorado. There's a farm in Colorado that's American Wagyu, and it's that I got tipped off by a buddy of mine that has, and I get a discount on it because I wouldn't buy it at its full price because it's way too freaking expensive. But you say
But good beef is good beef.
Well, it's incredible,
Yeah.
and I know what they feed the cattle, and again,
and that's important.
it's so important, right? Because you just don't know what you're eating 90% of the time. I mean, you really
Well,
don't.
with everything, all the preservatives and everything that
Broccoli.
you get everywhere now. So it's nice if you have your beef and it comes
Yeah.
from someplace that's,
Yeah.
And
you pick the right, if you do it, if you talk to the chefs and they know these specific spots, if you buy a porterhouse, it's going to cost you an absolute fortune, right? So to cook a porterhouse is delicious. It's unbelievable. You get a New York strip and a filet and everything's great, but that's a hugely expensive, especially when you're talking American Wagyu. But these guys,
What's the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone?
it's the cut
the
of where it
size, it's the size. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where the fillet goes. So the fillet is the muscle goes down to a point, and the closer to the point, that's the T-bone. The further away is the porterhouse. Now it's about 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches of fillet will be certified porterhouse. So if you have a T-bone steak or a porterhouse steak cut and the fillet's over 1.25 inches, or I think it's 1.5 inches, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it has to meet that standard to be called or certified a porterhouse.
Porterhouse.
And then down the line, of
Porterhouse
that
are
fillet-
very popular.
very popular because it's the greatest steak. It's actually probably the best steak you can
Yeah.
eat because you've got it could be a 2-person steak.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the times you'll go out with your significant other and you'll eat the strips, the New
Yeah,
York
there's a little
strip.
Diagram.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
just
right.
where they're cut off of the.
Yeah, so I can't see the porterhouse on there, but anyway,
Right up top.
Yeah, there you go, porterhouse. So, I mean, the reality of it is, if you've got a
It's the king of
4-inch
steaks.
thick porterhouse,
Mm-hmm.
if you or your wife wants the fillet, you take the fillet. If you want the New York strip, which has a ton of flavor, the fillet is a little bit more tender, but the New York strip has the
So, yeah,
flavor.
we usually keep the fillets and
Yeah,
that stuff. We do
that's-
sell the porterhouse though, but
Yeah.
we do. Keep
When I
the
when I
fillets.
go to the Capitol Grill with the boys,
Oh boy,
Wednesday
yeah.
nights,
That's a big steer. That's
yeah,
the big.
I
time.
always order the porterhouse because I bring home the fillet.
The fillet.
You know,
Yeah.
she
My
loves
wife loves the
breakfast.
fillet.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what my favorite cuts of meat are.
Yep.
Is in they're the cheaper cuts of meat, and it's the way that you cook. I mean, I'm kind of I love to cook. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do is cook. So I have like a sous vide, and I have different cooking methods for that. But exactly. So the picanha,
yeah.
if you've ever heard of the picanha,
That's a cut of steak.
it is, and it's actually in Argentina. It was really, really popular, right? So if you look up, it's basically a tip sirloin, and it's the cap of the, it's basically muscle right here,
Yeah.
and it's a cap, and if you buy it as a picanha, it's got the fat cap on the top, and you cut it into steaks. It's literally one of the greatest pieces of meat for a very affordable cut of meat, and it tastes like, I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's one of the.
Ooh, look at it.
That is not.
looks
Yeah,
like a
that is
roast, but it's-
that's well, that's probably roasted up.
Yeah.
But if you look up, see that picanha, you can make into a roast, or you can, right there.
Oh, there you go.
That's how you cut it. So you have to cut it perfectly, and then you can cut it. And so what I do,
Always cut with the grain.
right, because it's a tough piece of meat if you don't.
Right.
But if you know how to butcher that piece of meat, it's a very and again, I'm going back to the whole American Wagyu because it's a seriously expensive piece of meat. If you bought a T-bone, it's $250
Right.
versus, $55, $60 for that, and it tastes amazing. And then tri-tip and some other different. See, that's a typical, Argentinian steakhouse type,
Oh my-
Brazilian steakhouse. They use that cut a lot because it's so flavorful. But you have to know how to butcher it.
Oh my God.
And I don't know why I'm nerding
So
out on this right now, but it's just something that the chefs, I do a lot of work with chefs, and they're like, never mind that. This is what you want right here. Try this.
Lord.
And it's unbelievable. I use my wood oven. I have a wood oven, and I
Nice.
finish it in there, and it's just
So
amazing.
perfect.
Oh, it's amazing.
What do you have
So
for dinner tonight?
CJ's coming over.
I haven't eaten anything yet, but this summer we will. And we're going to order a half a cow. That's what we're going to
Yeah.
have to do.
That's what you have to
And then
do.
we'll do that. So, but no, I'm very fascinated by the
Yeah.
whole process, really.
No, it's really cool. It's really cool.
It is.
It's nice to have. It's nice to live where I live because we have them as neighbors, and
Yeah, I'd be down there every day.
people will
What's
drive
on the
down the
menu?
street like to come pick me up to go golfing or something. And they'll be like, "Is that a cow?" Yep, that's a cow.
Just roaming up the road.
Well, we let them out a lot,
Yeah,
and
why not?
they're never, like I said, they're never in a barn. But sometimes we let them out of the field and into the driveway so that they can cross the driveway to the other side to feed off that grass. So we just put a fence across that end of the driveway. So if you're driving down the street, it looks like they're just hanging out free,
That's
walking.
awesome. Do you give them portions of the property at a time to graze on, or do you just
No.
let them free range?
They just free range.
That's
they just
incredible.
The only time there is, like I said, if we move them to the other side of the driveway. Sometimes, like at night, we'll open up the driveway so that they can come across to the other side when that needs to be eaten down. But in general, they can just go wherever they want to go.
I want to go down there with
just-
a cowboy hat on and just start
They just wander around out there.
rodeoing.
They just wander around. They moo. They make a lot of noise.
awesome.
Every time I go down there, I'm like, "Moo."
So, did COVID have any impact
Oh.
on your farm as far as the weddings?
It
are
did the weddings.
concerned?
Yeah, we
did
had,
it really?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had most
But
of the
being-
weddings that we had either canceled or postponed. That
Really?
year. Yeah.
So no open air. That didn't come into play.
We
I
did
mean,
two.
Okay.
We did two the year of COVID when there was the restrictions. You had to have under 50 people
Mm-hmm.
and masked. So we did have two weddings that chose to follow those restrictions and do the under 50 and mask and the whole.
So you felt
deal,
the
but-
pain too.
Yeah, but other than that, everybody else postponed. Yeah, we did, and it was disappointing for us. But we both. I still had my job,
Sure,
so I still
exactly.
worked.
Yeah.
I did feel really bad for a lot of our vendors.
Right.
Like a photographer,
Yeah.
florist, caterers. That's
Yeah.
that's their job. That's the only thing they have. And a lot of those people took deposits for weddings for that summer, in the winter time, and that's what they live off of.
Right.
And then people wanted their deposits back because they were canceling,
They
but
don't
those
have it.
vendors didn't have it. They
Yeah.
lived off of those deposits.
Right.
So I did feel really bad for a lot of those people that they were really affected by it.
Did they come back?
Most of our weddings they postponed for the following year.
Awesome.
We did have a couple. I shouldn't say that we didn't have any because we did have a couple of micro weddings where couples that were booked for 2020, and they didn't want to wait. They just, for whatever reason, they didn't want to postpone their wedding. They were ready to tie the knot. They just came out and tied their knot just with their immediate family.
That was
a
it.
small ceremony and some pictures, and
Yeah.
then they went someplace else for like a dinner or something.
I got married in 2020.
He did.
June of 2020. Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yep. I got married in the ICU.
I still,
True story.
I know you told me that.
I wouldn't have expected anything less, though.
No.
I mean, you were engaged forever, so why not do it?
I mean,
there?
y'all kicked your coverage anyways.
Well,
so-
we always had like the opportunity to have, a nice, beautiful wedding right in our backyard.
I was just going to say, you still have the opportunity.
right?
It's right down the street.
Yeah, I know.
So have a what do they call that?
A vow renewal.
Yes.
We're thinking.
And will you invite me?
You? Yeah, of course. Of
You're
course.
lying. Okay, that's fine.
No, of course. not. But you know
You
what?
should.
You know what?
You should.
You know what?
Other-
I would invite him, but he probably would.
I probably won't go.
Depends on what you have for
I would
food.
go. Right. If you're serving picanha, I'm coming.
It's good food. He's coming.
No, if it's gonna be farm raised beef, I'm there.
I have to
brother.
hire him as like the band.
No, I'm retired.
You retire? Well,
Yeah, my son.
I'll hire Gavin.
My son, maybe. Yeah, Gavin. I had a question, a really important, hard hitting question, and I forgot it.
Hard hit.
Hard hitting.
No, it wasn't a hard hitting question at all. Are there any other things other than weddings that?
That we do?
Yeah.
We do weddings. We do the beef. We do.
I mean, other events.
Oh,
Like,
other
are there
events.
any,
No, we don't
birthday
really
parties,
do,
any kind of stuff like
we
that.
We had a birthday party last year, and we had some proms.
Oh yeah.
Oh, prom, yeah.
We had proms last year. We had Triton's, Georgetowns,
Right,
and
I heard that,
Amesbury's.
yeah.
And then this year we're having Amesbury's. They have like a dinner dance. They call it a dinner dance, not a prom. But other than that, no, we don't really do anything else. We get a lot of inquiries for birthday parties, graduations, baby showers,
Yeah.
things like that. But
it's just not worth it.
it's not because for us, whether it's a baby shower or it's a wedding, it's the same amount of work.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? For my husband, I still have to clean things, wash things, clean them. It's the same amount of work. So we can't. It's hard to price it
Yeah.
so that somebody wants to pay it.
There's a
that's-
number that you have to meet.
Right. Like for it to be worth it for us isn't really worth somebody paying that kind of money for a baby
Could
shower.
we hold? You and I were talking about this earlier. Could we hold a rodeo there?
rodeo? Is CJ gonna do some bull riding?
Yeah, all mechanical rodeo. Can we do
There you
that?
go. That would be good.
You
That would
talked
be
about
good.
that. Do you still want to do that?
That would be good.
You could wear those bike shorts.
Actually, you know what? When
Cowboy boots and bike
when her
shorts.
sons when her sons turned like 7, they had horses that came.
Yes.
And
Oh.
that was
We
kind
had
of like a
horse-
rodeo.
Oh.
Yeah, we
All
had
the kids
horse
got to
riding.
ride.
Yeah.
All the
That's
kids got to ride
cool.
horses.
Like
Yeah.
pony riding.
Pony rides
Yeah,
for-
we did
for
that.
their birthday party.
We did that one
Yeah.
time. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kids had a blast doing that.
Yeah. And then Lazy J came out when we did our open
Oh,
house, and they
did
brought Marianne brought her ponies
Oh,
out, and they
she's
had
the
some
best.
pony. She is, and they had some pony rides for that too. So
We're gonna have Marianne on soon.
yeah,
Yeah, Mary.
we love Lazy J.
Yeah, Lazy J.
We're big Lazy J fans,
What she's doing over there is pretty awesome.
isn't it?
I think
I agree.
everybody in town loves Mary Ann Sears.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
my
there's
father
not much-
adored her
there's-
as well.
Yeah, how can you not?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
And
then
Joe.
what she's
You
doing
gotta throw Joe in.
Yeah, I
there.
was just gonna say
Joe's
that
the
we
man.
can't forget Joe. Yeah, we
Joe's
can't
the
forget
good
Joe.
guy.
So he's
But
great.
yeah, and I love that they're doing the camp.
Yeah.
The camp for the horses and the kids. I love that.
And the veterans.
Mary Ann
and
just
the whole.
became a lion. She just became a member of the Lions Club.
Oh, nice. Good for
Yeah.
her.
Yep.
Good for her.
Yep. She.
She runs a good operation over there.
Oh,
they
and she
do.
got involved right away. She's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this.
She was heavily involved in a lot of things when my father was a selectman. And,
Right.
I mean, she was like, they were partners in crime. She did a lot of stuff.
She gave. We.
Well, she grew up here. She grew up in
Oh,
town.
yeah.
We made pins for the 9/11 because it was the 20th anniversary this year. We made Lions Club pins. Mike Roberge organized it with her, and they came out beautiful. And she donated it to the Lions.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
very
she's
generous.
very good. Yeah,
We were able to give
The
them
shirt
that doesn't
merch.
surprise me.
She
Yeah.
donated
Yeah.
this in memory of my father when we all ran the 5K or whatever, 10K. I don't even know what K it was.
Nice.
She donated them all.
She didn't donate that flannel from the farm.
No. This was purchased in the city, probably.
It's a city shirt.
This is, you know.
That
One of
doesn't
those-
say Wrangler on it, boy. That says Root.
Yeah, well, it's
Listen.
like the farm style
That's
and the
right.
farm are two different things. You know, They-
They used to call that like farm chic or some kind of crazy thing. You know what's funny though? I tried to ride one horse.
is there such a thing?
Oh
as
yeah,
farm
It's-
chic.
I don't even know, but I think so. Yeah, and I'm not even. I have no idea about fashion. I'm the worst fashionista. But I did try to ride a horse one time.
Did you?
My sister was a champion horse rider. She rode. She still does ride dressage. She rides. I used to, help her shovel the stalls or whatever,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
once or twice, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, this is way too
It's
much
too
work.
much
I'm going
work.
back to playing
Yeah.
hockey."
Right.
But I did try to get on a horse one time.
How'd that go?
It was not good.
No.
No. I got bucked off so quick.
Yeah.
So my sister throws me up on this horse. I don't even know what kind of horse it was. It had no saddle, no nothing. I jump on bareback.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I think she's playing. Yeah, exactly. I know the person's name that owns that. I don't want to say it, but it's. We're over there. We're hanging out. We're going in the pool and we're doing our thing. And my sister's like, get up
Get on
there.
the horse.
Yeah, get up there, because she could just jump on the horse and
Right.
do whatever the horse. I mean, she gets up to the horse and talks to the horse, and I'm like, okay, I'll try that. Jump up, get up. I'm like, I'm there for like 2 seconds. The horse goes, and
fall
there I
off.
go, flying like
Not taking
20
it, huh?
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing I was 13. If I did that now, my bones would all snap in half.
Yeah.
So,
It sounds
but-
about
Gotta be
something.
careful.
And it sounds like a 13-year-old boy, something he would do.
Exactly. Try it. I mean, it was like, there was no holding on though.
Yeah.
So 13-year-old boys, you got two twin 13-year-old.
Well, they're 14.
They're 14 now.
They're 14.
Max
Yeah.
is still 13.
They're 14.
So.
Yep. They're.
My son's age. Do they go to Triton?
They do.
Oh, so they go
They
to
do.
school with my son. My son Gavin.
8th grade?
No, he's in 9th grade.
Oh,
and he's
ninth grade,
14.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, the boys are a little bit, their birthday's in October. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, so they
Oh,
were a
that's
little.
cool. So they're
good
in the
boys.
same grade as your
Max.
son. Yeah.
Max.
Yes, they hang out with
she
Max.
has one son that is the nicest kid in all of America. And he is. I like the kid because he's like he nerds out on like tech and stuff.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. He likes
Get him over here. We
He
need
would
to
love
hire
this.
him.
He would love
let's
all
hire
this.
him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He would love all this.
That's how we started with Nick, right?
Yeah. He's he reminds me
Yeah,
of Nick.
he would love all this stuff.
He'd come over to my house. I'd be like, "Hey, man, sit down. Like, let's check this out, check that out." And my son Max is like, "Dad, can you stop?" Like we're
Nick,
hanging out.
we have to do some recruiting, I think.
Yeah, no, he would
Talk to
love all
him.
this. Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes this
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Ian,
Let's get him down here.
I'm trying to
Alex
get
is
him
the
on the
opposite.
board of
Alex is the
directors.
one that would be like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
He's going to be doing the farm.
Yeah,
And then him and Max are making jokes about me and Ian.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they'll run the farm. That's.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the legacy? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what.
Where do
it'll
you
be.
see it going?
I don't know.
It's really a day by
it's
day,
really a day
month
by
by
day.
month.
Like I said, we have 5 kids total, and 3 are adults, and I don't see them coming back to take the farm over. They love it. They're here a lot, but I don't know if they'll any of them. And then the 2 youngest, maybe, but
You never know.
yeah, I think we. Just,
My father
kind
didn't
of-
think I was taking over the company, and then all of a sudden I showed
and
up
that's the
one day.
thing. They might.
Yeah.
They might want to do that. We looked at maybe building a facility for the weddings or something, but the idea was just too much for us to really want to
Yeah.
go down that road. But maybe someday the boys will.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll take it over. It's kind of open up
let's
for
not
them.
make this a sad story.
Yeah.
It's not a sad story. We're just trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I actually.
It would be a sad story for me.
Oh. If we sold it all and we moved to some
No, you can't do that.
island somewhere, or we just no, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure it crosses your mind, obviously, right? Because
It does.
It's a natural thing to have to.
It
That's
does.
a struggle. I mean,
It does cross our mind, especially since, like I said, we're getting older. But do we want to? How long do we want to take care of all that?
The farm
for?
is
But
important to the history of Salisbury.
it's important to me too. It is important to me. I realistically would love to see it never be
yeah,
developed.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But
me too.
but who knows what the future will bring for us and our family. And someday, if we did sell it, it would be great if somebody bought it and continued doing what we're doing with it. But I don't.
Well, I think
No,
that's where the
that's-
original conversation or the initial conversation that I started opened up with, because a lot of what you're talking about is going on across America.
Yeah.
Right.
These small farms, it's just becoming uneconomical to run them.
Right.
And so by natural progression, they get bought up because the families, the next generation, they've gone to college and they've done their thing.
And that's the
they've
thing, and they
become-
moved on.
Yeah, they're whatever they're doing, they're not doing it. So crowdfunding that land, because that is the land. Once it's developed, it's gone.
It's never
It's
coming back. Once a
out.
farm it's never coming back.
It's
never.
out of the equation.
Never. And that's the thing that's why I would hate. And it isn't just our land. So we have 60 acres out there, but there's a lot of other land that's all tied up.
Oh, yeah.
Once, if we developed, then that would give access to, another
Chain reaction.
Yeah, I don't know how many other acres.
Right.
So there could be, a significant amount of development out there.
Oh,
And someday this is all coming full circle, meaning we're going to have to support California. I mean, just in plant growth, right? I mean, that was part of that article was they need that salad bowl from whatever it is, San Francisco down to San Jose, whatever. There's like the salad bowl and I can't remember exactly where it is.
Middle California.
Yeah, just north of like Pebble Beach and like up to.
Yeah.
So they grow pretty much everything that ends up in your bowl, salad
Right.
bowl, right? So they call it the salad bowl. And the thing is it just can't be sustainable throughout the rest of the country. If we fill in all of those farms and all of a sudden we're just relying on one region
Right.
to create all this food for
You won't be able to do it.
We can't do it.
You can't do it.
So that's where this whole idea of crowdfunding came in from the internet, right? To deal with software companies and different products so now they're talking about crowdfunding farms because it's
a great idea.
It's that important to sustain farming. What are your kids' going to eat?
They're going to eat all genetically modified food because that's all there's going to be.
That's it.
because you can grow it
Biggest
easier,
yield.
quicker, faster.
Right.
So that's all that's going to be eventually. Right. That's what's mostly out there now.
I know.
And I don't really like it. I wish it wasn't like that. But, my husband says that all the time. Genetically modified food isn't ideal, but it's feeding people.
It is.
Because you can't.
What's the alternative?
You can't produce enough organic food
Right.
to feed everybody.
But I
It's
see
not possible.
people having to have their own farms and chip in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not farm,
or
I
even,
should
but
say
even
farm.
gardening,
Just
like
a
you
little
said,
garden, yeah.
right? That's all people have to do. I mean, you don't have to have a big farm, a garden.
Right.
Produce your own veggies, produce your own tomatoes,
Right.
cucumbers,
lettuce, carrots,
things, right? Things
root
like that.
vegetables,
Yep.
yeah.
For at least part of the year.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And then you know where it's coming from. It's better quality.
Right.
It's fresher.
I had these.
Especially if you have kids, plant the seeds with them.
Yeah.
Kids love that stuff.
I mean,
My
I
kids
grew up-
loved it.
My grandfather had a big garden, and it was a big pain in my ass every year because he would call. We'd have to ride our bikes down to Old Elm Street, help Gramp
Pick all the
plant. And then just the planting of it all was a chore. I mean, a major chore. But he would work that thing all, and we would have tomatoes and every vegetable you can imagine for the whole. And then he would can. Then he would, I mean,
all that stuff is, and it's people
preservation.
don't do that anymore.
No, they don't because it's easier just to go to the
grocery
and
store, right.
But again, it's $500 to go to the grocery store and buy fresh vegetables and fresh whatever. I mean,
And
it's
summer's coming.
Yeah.
People should just really, get out there and.
It's coming
do
to a
some-
point where there needs to be some,
I do see more of it. I think more people have gardens now than they used to.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, like for myself growing up, I didn't know many people had a garden.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, my parents had a garden, but my dad had one, but I don't remember people having gardens like they do now. I think more people have gardens, more people have chickens.
Yeah.
A lot of people have chickens in
Right.
their yard now, which is great.
No one had chickens.
No,
No
nobody
one had
did,
chickens.
unless you were on
Unless
a
you're a farm.
farm.
Exactly.
Right. So now people have chickens in their yard and
Or the Jamaicans in Nashua had always had chickens.
chickens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So more people have that stuff. They have goats too usually.
Lowell.
Like
Always.
weird.
This
Yeah.
guy, his name
We had
was
a
the
guy-
city?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nashua, this guy named Lowell, he was a Jamaican, and he had chickens. And I was from, Ohio,
Yeah.
so he assumed that I knew
At a farm.
how to butcher a chicken. So he had me come over, and we,
Did you do it?
yeah, we
I
did.
have crazy stories
had to put
about
the
that.
chicken-
Yeah.
I have. I know. We did that one season with chickens, and I had one son that was helping,
Yeah.
and one son that was trying to save them.
Yeah, it's a crazy
Yeah.
scene. That scene's crazy.
Yeah.
I grew up with that. My grandfather and they all did that. You know,
Yeah,
it's a
it was.
big
I
part of
was.
it.
Mike. That's how different my kids are. One was
Yeah.
like,
I'll go for it.
yeah,
do
had
it.
great time.
Which one wanted to save him?
Take a guess. Which one do you think?
See, that one's hard for me. Ian would want to save him?
No,
Okay.
no, it was Alex that wanted to
yeah,
save
that's
him.
what I
Yeah,
figured, yeah.
Alex was saving him, and Ian was participating,
Yeah, okay.
having a fine time with it, no problem with
That's
it. The other one
well.
was
I mean,
like,
it's like he knows where his food's coming
Yeah.
from. I mean,
Yeah.
again, that goes back to that.
oh yeah,
you
they
know?
know where, and they garden. They've always planted a
Yeah.
garden, and they go down and have to in the evening. It's kind of a chore too. Like at
It
14
is.
for them.
Oh,
like
totally.
They think of it as a chore now. When they were little, they loved it. When they were little, when they were 5,
Right.
you know, they thought that was great. Go down the garden with dad, and now at 14, they don't quite find the pleasure in it.
No.
I'm hoping they will eventually again, though, when they're older.
Yeah.
You know, we've instilled it in them. So when they're older, I'm hoping that they will have their own gardens.
Yeah.
Even if they don't farm,
Yeah.
they'll have their own garden and stuff.
It's cool though.
It's good.
I love the fact that we still have those old New England farms hanging around in Salisbury.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And nobody expects it. Like when people come to our farm to look at a wedding, they are always amazed. They
Where's
don't
the
even
beach?
they don't even know we're here. They didn't even
Yeah.
know we were there.
Where's the
They-
beach?
I have to be honest. I didn't know you guys.
No, I was gonna say most people in town don't even know we're there, and people when they come, they drive down Bayberry Lane, and then they get to us, and they're I can't believe this is down here because Bayberry Lane is residential street with so you would never guess it's gonna open up to that big amount of land down there. So
And you guys are all cool on Bayberry Lane, which is pretty awesome for
Yes.
them to be able to operate. I would imagine. Right?
it is great.
Well,
yeah.
we enjoy the peace and quiet of a nice neighborhood where we don't mind traffic on a Saturday because we'd rather have traffic on a Saturday than traffic on every day.
Continuous traffic.
And if it was developed, there would be
Yeah.
multitudes
Yeah.
of houses out there or condos. So
And
we try to
always-
be respectful and
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very good neighbors.
Yeah, we put speed bumps down on wedding
Oh,
days.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
good.
that keeps the
Everybody
traffic
drives
low.
slow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
To try to at least.
And I always
people.
get out there if somebody goes too fast. I yell.
CJ's like the policeman, and it's great too because we've had a couple of weddings. We had a wedding a couple of years ago where they were having like we had a little barbecue,
We have a
neighborhood little party at the same time, and Mark and I were at the party, and then we had to go back because we had the wedding going on. And all of a sudden, it was just before the bride was arriving. She was like on her way, and we could hear all this yelling and screaming up the street, and we were like, "Oh my goodness, what is going on?" We thought, and then they were all cheering for the bride as she came
Oh,
down the
that's
street.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
She probably thought
yeah,
that
she
was
thought that was
awesome.
great. She was super excited about it when
That's
she came
great.
down. She's like,
You
"Oh,
were
your
probably
whole
leading the charge.
She's like thinking the whole neighborhood came out for her. You
Oh,
know,
that's
they were just
amazing.
out. But yeah, so it was good.
Was she?
So.
Do you find that there's a lot of local people who get married there, or is it?
There is some local, but we get a lot of people from kind of far away. We
Really?
get a lot of people, a lot of people from like the South Shore
So
area.
you must advertise on a lot of the different wedding.
We do a little bit of advertising. We don't do too much. Most of it's a lot of word of mouth. A lot of people that call us say stuff like, I know somebody that came to a wedding at your place, or I was at a wedding at your place. But we do a little advertising to kind of get us out there. But a lot of it is just people that have come to a wedding or seen it and they tell somebody, and so it's working out pretty good.
It's fantastic.
So we were talking, Terry and I were talking to our great friend Mike Colburn, and Mikey, and we talked about. We were talking about town meeting, and I said, when I first came to town, Stacie and Mark invited me, and they sat me down and showed me how to read warrant articles. And
Showed you the ropes.
To do the ropes at town
Mark
meeting.
kind of antagonized me a little bit. You got to get up and say something,
Well, Mark used to get up and stay stuff at town meeting all the time when I first met him, and now he doesn't because I'm like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just sit down, be quiet.
That's funny. I know every time I want to say something, I'm just like,
Do I want to? And
I'll just
'cause
let Mike Coburn say it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm like, Mikey, that's why I say to Mark, Mikey will say it.
Yeah, he'll say it. And if he doesn't,
If
then
he
maybe
doesn't,
I'll
his
think
dad
about it.
will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll just text Mike and be like, Mike, can you say this? My wife will not let me get up right now.
There was always when I came to town, there was always somebody that Gil Bonk. There's Mikey. He used to always get up and have something to say. There was
Who was
always
it?
Gil Bonk. Is
Yeah.
he still? Is he still? Is he still?
Yeah, I haven't seen him
Yeah,
in a
but
while.
he was always someone that got up and talked.
Oh, yeah.
I think my father-in-law, when he lived in town,
Yeah.
used to get up and talk a lot. I don't think he was always. I don't think they always liked seeing him raise his hand.
Contentious, was he?
Yeah.
I actually remember that. That was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's
yeah,
great.
So town meetings, yeah.
Town meetings is a great event. Stacie invited us to our first one many years ago, and
And look at you now.
Yep.
we've
Yep.
been doing-
You're the self-proclaimed king of all Salisbury media.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
That's
the
what
king of
we've
all
coined.
Salisbury media.
That's what we coined it.
Little crown.
That's great.
well,
Well, it's a great story.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that we have farms still hanging around and
we've talked about it all.
It is it's a good town. Got a little bit of everything. Got the beach,
Yeah.
got the agricultural, got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And kind of scratch.
Yeah. It's a
Get
good
everything.
time,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that we had children at the same time.
Yeah,
You know,
me too.
so our boys can grow up together.
it's a great place to grow up. Hanging
It is.
out down there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Yep. You'll see them. They're
Free range kids.
free range kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
They have the
it definitely
opportunity
is.
to do all that
There's
stuff.
all kinds of stuff out there they can
Yeah, they can
explore.
get. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great that you have that space out there where they can
Right.
go out and not get in too much trouble.
Yeah, they
They only get in trouble when they like hang out at somebody's house.
when they venture off the
Yeah,
when they venture off the
keep
lane.
'em on the farm.
if
They're
they're
Yeah.
not on the Bayberry Lane.
Yeah, when they're on the lane, they stay out of trouble for the
Yeah.
most part.
I know that. I know that routine.
Well, I know if they're not with Ian, there's trouble's gonna happen. or if like I see Ian walking past the house and he's not with the other two boys, I'm like,
What are they doing?
there's trouble.
Do you ever have trouble selling out of your product, or does it always sell out?
It always sells it. The
Okay.
beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always
Always,
sells out.
right?
Yeah.
You don't ever have
No.
any. Yeah.
Usually we have to stop it because then we have to keep so much for ourselves.
Right. Sure.
So once we reach the point where we want to make sure we're going to be provided for the following year, or however long we get to the next one. So yeah, no, we usually always sell it out.
Why don't we split
Have
a
any
cow?
problem. You can.
Do you eat-
You'll have to ask Marianne about that when she comes on.
Oh yeah.
'Cause Marianne did, yeah. So
I mean,
ask
I
Marianne.
bought a quarter of a cow one time. It's a lot of meat. You don't
All right.
realize.
It is.
All right,
It
I'll
is
tell
a lot
you
of-
guys a story. When I was a child, my dad was married to this lady. Her name was Sandy. And they bought a cow. And they had a meat locker. And every time she would come, and this was 1984, 83, 84, every time she would come to the house when they broke up, she would take a piece of meat with her. And then at that same time,
As alimony.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Was this
Same
her
time.
like, you know?
at the same time, that song from Paul something came out.
Simon.
It wasn't Paul. Was it Paul?
I don't know
What's
what
the
was
name of the song, dude?
What was sing it?
Every time you go away.
Oh, that's Hall and Oates.
No, that isn't.
You take a piece of meat.
He would
Take a piece of meat.
You take a piece of. Thank you. That was beautiful.
No problem.
Every time I hear that song, it just
Is that a true story? Because
It's a
almost
true story.
What the hell happened in Ohio that shit like that went down with you? Because there's a lot of
Well,
stories.
Sandy, my dad's second wife, she was very mean, and she was
That's vindictive to take.
I
his
know,
meat.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Jesus,
she took his meat. It was like
that's like taking your heart out.
That's for a man. That is a
and
serious
she,
offense.
Stomp
she
on
left him. She left him.
Why would she keep coming? Why would he? If she was taking his meat,
Why was she?
Yeah.
Why
why
was
would
she
he
coming
let
back?
her in the house?
Who was letting her in?
Put a lock
He
on the
loved her.
fridge.
He loved her.
Oh, it was one of those situations, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
You had a meat locker.
We had a meat locker, and we would go
That's
to
amazing.
the meat market, and we would
Fill it
grab
up.
meat, and we'd bring it home and put it in the freezer.
That's a lost time.
Oh, it was so good.
It's amazing.
Well, you'll have to get another meat locker and just fill up.
Yeah,
Right.
Fill it up. My freezer is literally stocked to the
Freezer.
gills with meat. I mean, I am during the summertime. It's
Grill.
like I actually cook it in my pizza oven wood. I love
Oh,
coal,
nice,
so
yeah.
I'll do like a reverse sear on coal, then finish it in the 1,000-degree pizza oven and on cast iron. Like I cook cowboy style all the time. Yeah,
So
let's
hungry.
come. Yeah, so
Well,
we're gonna have Stacie over.
yeah, we're gonna have to have Stacie and Mark.
BYOB.
Yeah,
There you
Bring
go.
your own beef.
Yeah. CJ can bring the pork.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
I was ragging on the other day. I said, dude, pork belly, let's go.
Poor Harper.
I know, Hopper. My wife's like, don't talk like that. I want to come over and hug that pig.
Yeah.
Do we? Oh, we don't have that picture.
I
Oh,
texted
if I had that
I texted
picture.
it to you.
Did you text it? Did
I
he
think
text
I
you the
have
picture?
it.
No,
of
I
him
texted
sitting-
you the
I
picture.
I know, but I lost it.
I think Nina sent it to me.
So
Is that me putting the catheter?
yeah, so
No, it's just the her laying in the kitchen.
oh no, you got to see the one
Oh, I
where
didn't see that
CJ. We'll have
Oh,
to
this
save
is-
it for another show.
All right, we'll save it.
We'll save it because the picture's so good.
Right.
It has to be saved.
Yeah.
You
well,
sent that to me, and I didn't even know how to take it. I was like,
You know, that's the
looking-
one.
I
That's
was
the one I
like,
have of.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's a
in the
that's a very
kitchen.
PC one. The one I have is he's shoving a catheter in the business end of the pig
Oh,
and
poor
holding an antibiotic bag on the ground like you're a farmer at that point. But
That
you're
is
in your
that is
kitchen.
farm material right there.
Right,
Is doing that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
you know, sticking your hand up to pull a calf out.
Yeah,
like that. That is.
he's in there. He's
Yeah.
in the business end.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
had to do
working.
stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
work.
So when we
That's
need
work.
next time we need something like that, we'll
Yeah, call
you.
him. He's
Yeah.
good. He was so natural at it. I mean, you're so relaxed. You're just like, psh.
Yeah, well, you have to do what you got to do to keep your livestock
You
alive.
do,
You're a
you
farmer.
do,
Right.
you do. You got to give them all kinds of stuff. Shots sometimes,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
I'm doing the best I can to keep 2 guinea pigs and a dog alive. Okay, and actually, I don't do much at all. It's my kids, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Well,
Guinea pigs are a handful. We had a guinea pig.
Yeah, we have my brother-in-law who is
they're good eating.
well, they do eat them.
Yeah, they
we
do.
would.
They do. They do
Yeah.
some in
Yeah.
some places.
It's
Yeah.
gross. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I mean, all they do is crap.
That is
Like,
all they
they
do.
literally
Yeah, that is all they do.
crap.
And then they throw their shavings at you.
Yeah.
And stuff. They throw.
Yeah.
They scare the hell out of me every
Same
time
thing
I
with the
go into a
regular
room because I'm like going into a room to like, and then there's 2 of them. They scramble, and I'm like, I forgot about you 2.
Yeah. We had 2 of them too.
So my uncle, their
You
uncle,
have to have 2,
their
right?
uncle, yeah,
They're
they
like-
have to have.
I don't know. We had 2, and one of them had an early demise.
Yeah.
And then we had 1 for a long time.
My daughter
Oh, wow.
goes to that guinea pig sanctuary and donates.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally is there all the
the
time.
time.
Loves
Yeah.
it. She's just big into animals. She's gonna be something
Some
to
type
do
of-
with something to do with that. So
We
anyway,
donated a bunch of old towels to them.
yeah, we do a lot of stuff, and it's because they.
Nick,
need-
can you pull up
they
the
need
guinea
help.
pig refuge
Sanctuary? They-
Sanctuary.
We
In
helped them
Salisbury.
fix their plumbing. They had a plumbing
So
problem.
what
so
did
we-
they? What do they? If you, like, are those abandoned guinea pigs? What? How,
Yeah, people literally buy them for pets.
Yeah.
For their
Right.
kids, and then they're like, we can't keep
Take
care of
them,
these
so-
because they're a lot of work.
They are. You have
Ton
to
of
clean
work.
them all the time, and
Yeah, it's literally
they're
ton of-
cute.
They
Yeah.
do God's work over there.
Yeah, they really do.
I won't ever
Yeah.
get another one.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work. And my daughter just gets in there. But Cam, Cam,
Right.
he builds a guinea pig.
It's so
mansion.
sad.
Right.
This thing is like takes up half a room. The guinea pig's got a better house than I do.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
That's so sad. That
Yeah.
it surrenders. People just
Yeah, they surrender them and they do. So, and
They're
know,
a 501c3.
anybody that wants a guinea pig,
nonprofit.
these people are great. They
That's
do. They always need donations too because they always need food, hay, all that
Timothy hay,
stuff.
alfalfa hay,
Yeah.
orchard
Yeah, because
hay,
you can't
puppy
just give them
pads,
like
No,
towels, pellet
Yeah.
food.
they need everything.
it's like a horse. You have
Constantly.
to have like good
specifically
hay.
for
Yeah.
guinea pigs.
But they're right there in a tiny little place in Bridge Road, and it's it's just people who love animals
Yep.
get involved in this stuff. So my daughter, we drop her off. She spends the day there and just cleans all the cages
that's
and
nice.
does.
Good.
She loves it. She
That's
loves
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
They
mean,
always need towels. They always need towels.
Towels.
So if anybody out there has a bunch of old towels and they want to get rid of them and go buy
Yeah.
new towels, there's not enough emphasis on new towels. Bring your old towels down to the guinea pig sanctuary.
I need some new towels.
There you go.
Yeah.
So buy
It's one of those things you don't remember.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'll get one soon, and then you're like,
yeah.
and then they're like expensive. So it's like $400
Yeah,
for new
for
towels.
They don't
towels.
have towels anymore. Now you know what they call them? Bath sheets. Try to,
What?
go
No,
buy,
stop.
try to go buy a towel. You can't find a towel anymore. Now they're
come
called
on.
bath sheets.
Why did it change everything?
Well,
You know what I think they should
everybody's
start is, you know how you have a bridal shower when you get married?
Right.
I think after you hit like 20 years of marriage, you should get another one.
yeah.
'Cause
Right.
that's when you really need
Replenishing
stuff.
shower.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when you really need
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
All my stuff is all
Yeah.
old now. I want,
I want to register for a stove.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
My fat ass
Right.
used to be able to have a bath towel around my waist.
Now you need a bath blanket.
Now
Yeah.
you need a black bath sheet. It's a sheet now.
Oh,
so
the
it
sheets
should
don't
work.
fit me. My fat ass.
Bath
Stop it.
sheet.
Well, this was
Thank God it's all in the front. So what I miss in the back.
You're not showing. Don't worry, you're not showing. You're good. I love this kid.
Yeah.
This was a good show.
Oh, it was the greatest.
I had
Well,
fun.
thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Stacie.
It was a
for-
pleasure
for
to
coming
have you.
out. We call ourselves the Sons of Salisbury because we're from Salisbury, and we are the Sons of Salisbury. So if we go somewhere, we're from Salisbury, Massachusetts. And
Let's plug the farm and plug all the
Red Ridge Farm, and they have a website. What's your website?
RedridgeMeadow.com.
The Meadow.
Nick,
at
pull that up
Red
on the full
Ridge
screen, will you?
Farm.
Please.
The Meadow at Red
How
Ridge
beautiful is
Farm.
that?
Yeah,
Look
Red
at the
Ridge
guitar
Meadow.
player in the field. I mean, it doesn't get better.
Red Ridge Meadow.
It is a really great spot for a wedding.
Great
Oh,
spot.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I went to my first one 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is
Yeah, it's great.
Genius.
And the cows are huge at weddings. We feed them right behind the ceremony site, so they're right there. When
Kids
people are
go
getting
over
married.
there.
Yeah, and they can see them, and they can't touch they can't
Yeah.
really touch them, but they're right there. So it's people get really excited about cows at weddings.
So beautiful.
well. I mean, they're just a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at them.
There's
She
some
had
right
one
now.
with the one with the heart on its forehead.
Yep.
What was his name?
I think that one's Nick,
Oh, is that Nick? Oh,
but I'm not sure.
Is that his nickname?
Nick the
Yeah,
engineer.
Nick.
You named him after.
We
our-
have some that have names. Usually, if they stain on the farm, they have names.
It's tough
Right.
to name.
Something that's not stained.
Yeah.
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 We have a few that have names. Some of them we don't.
We had How the cow in Vermont. We had a little piece of property in Vermont, and the cow, we named How the cow. And then we found out when we went back up there that the cow was harvested.
Yeah.
I was probably like 10.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Is that Nick?
I'm not sure. if
Looks
that
like him
one's
with the
him.
head.
That's
We'll
an
call him
old
Nick.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
that's an
like
old
Nick.
picture.
That
That's
looks like
Great
Nick.
looking animal.
that's a calf there. Yeah, they have their babies out in the field.
It's fantastic.
They're all completely free range. They never. We did put them in a couple of years ago. We had that big
That's a good one.
storm, and we tried to put them in the barn, but they didn't stay in the barn.
Look at this. These people are getting married.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
that's
watching them.
just,
That's perfect.
that's great.
See, there's a fence there. You just can't see it.
Yeah. That's just
Between
perfect.
between them and the cattle?
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
fence.
okay.
It's just a wire. That's all it is. Isn't
They're looking for,
thin,
they're photobombing
Yeah,
that
it's
is
a-
basically what they're doing. Those cattle, they're
that's
like,
pretty-
come on over here.
Cool.
thin electric fence, so you can't see it in the picture. So it kind of looks neat like that. That people
That's
think
great.
it looks like you're, standing with the cows, but there is a fence.
So same thing, the email address and phone number that we had at the beginning.
Yep.
That's how you get a hold of it. It's mostly you, Stacie, that does all the booking?
Yeah, it's all me.
All you.
Yeah, it's all me.
So you
Just
got
me and my
3
husband.
full-time jobs.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
good.
much.
You're not that busy.
So it's just my husband and I that do it. We don't have any staff. We
Yeah,
don't have
that's great.
anybody like
Awesome.
that. It's
Yeah,
just
they
us.
have 2 14.
Well, we have
boys.
we have the boys we put to work.
Yeah,
we make
good.
them.
They should.
They have chores and they have to help with stuff. And
Make some good men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good boys.
I keep telling them that they
They
have
won't
yet to
believe you
me,
till
but-
they're 30. And
Yeah,
then
but I
they'll-
do keep telling them.
Then
that.
they'll thank you.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you sell eggs too?
And we do. We sell eggs, and we can make all of those things right there. The farm, that cupcake stand my husband made, and the log with the flowers, he cut that. And
Good stuff.
so yeah, so all that stuff. It's for ordered, made to order. So
Yep.
we don't have them on there, but if somebody wanted one for their wedding or something like that,
That's awesome.
we do make that stuff
Well,
too.
you said it all, Stacie.
Yeah.
You
Good.
did it all.
I did it all.
We
Thank you.
learned some good stuff.
You've traveled all.
I'm going down there for some beef.
Yeah.
I got to call your mother-in-law because I got to get her.
Yeah, she's the one who
Yeah.
told me. You haven't tried that? Are you serious? I'm like,
Some native Salisbury.
I didn't know. I mean, I saw it on there.
Well, that's what I mean. Most people don't.
Yeah, like,
don't
and
know.
you know what? It's and I'm sure you don't like advertise the living daylights out of it. You just
No.
post it out there, and if
Yeah.
anybody comes, you probably get people coming to you.
Usually, what it is I put it on Facebook, and I have some friends. Like I said, some people from weddings.
Spreads.
Yeah, and then once somebody buys stuff, they kind of return customers. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of the same people that just come back and keep buying it.
I love it.
Yeah, and then we sell the whole.
You can
cow.
also find her on Facebook.
One more question.
Yeah.
Ever any thoughts of expanding that number of cattle and kind of expanding it out a little bit more and getting into the 20, 30,
Yeah,
40?
maybe, but I don't think so.
Hiring some
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Not
Hiring
do it?
hiring help isn't in my
Forget about
husband's
it.
vocabulary.
Yeah, he's gonna do it himself.
Yeah, he doesn't hire anybody for anything. So yeah, probably not. We use 20 is usually our top. 20 is usually the top, and then we usually get rid of some. The winters are hard. We try to
Yeah.
keep the herd down for the winter,
That's
just
tough.
because it's a lot harder to keep them and feed them and maintain them, and it's more expensive.
Yeah.
So in the
Beautiful
summer we
piece
have
of
more of
property.
them.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's my
The
ducks.
ducks.
Those are
Your
my
ducks.
those are my friends. They
Yeah.
greet me every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right. Oh, there's the
one with the heart.
their
on his
heart.
head.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Good looking animal.
Oh yeah. Well, Stacie, I just want to thank you for coming down and thank you for being a part
Well,
of
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sons
You
of
enjoyed
Salisbury.
yourself.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a good. It was a good time.
Good to get the farm out.
All right, so I'll just end on this. I think that I think Tripoli's is a far superior slice of pizza.
Really?
You're a sweet guy, sweet sauce
I
guy.
like that sweet sauce. It's good. I like it.
I'll eat anything.
Not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll eat them both.
I
Yeah.
mean, pizza.
Really, you can't go wrong.
I mean, it's pretty easy, right? You
Yeah.
put a piece of pizza in front of me, I'm going to eat it. But
Plus you go to-
Cristaldi's is
Plus
Yeah,
you go
I
to
agree.
Tripoli's.
I agree.
Tripoli's Bakery. I mean, it's
delicious. Yeah.
in Seabrook.
Oh,
my
the
God.
bakery. Yeah.
I love them all. And you know
me
what's funny? You know Beach Pizza in Salem or whatever those other.
Yeah.
It's like an imposter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Salem?
Yeah, Salem. It's
not the beach.
It's rated. I know exactly. But you know, to be honest with you, it's not bad either.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Did you know you can get it at the grocery store now too?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I buy
Sorry to
Tripoli's
pick up.
all winter long, so
yeah.
I'll buy them because, especially if you're having little parties or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's easy.
oh yeah, you throw 'em
Christmas,
in.
Thanksgiving, bring them to wherever I'm going.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bring it with me, and everybody eats them.
Oh,
First
yeah.
thing that goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's like midnight and everybody's wrapping up or whatever, let's have a couple slices
Good.
of pizza.
Beach pizza. It's
Yeah.
good.
All right, so you guys get out there, get yourself some Tripoli's, get yourself some Christie's, and till next time.